In this video, I'll look at getting the secondary motion smoothed out, and really start to put some snap in some of the pieces, like his eyelids. Right now, he crouches down, the eyelids are fairly closed, and then springs up and that eye opens up. The opening, though, is a little bit too slow, as it almost happens as he's starting to drop. Also, in the beginning, he sort of starts out with his eyes kind of closed, sort of sleepy looking. I'll get in and pick that eye control and adjust it. What I'd like to do is adjust the value, so his eye starts out open and neutral. As he crouches down, he goes into a squint, springs up, and then realizes he's up high and that eye springs open. It's very easy to go to a key and simply adjust the value. I can see right here with the eye control selected that top and bottom lid are keyed. I'll pick them, and with the mouse wheel, open up that top and bottom. I'll make him a little more open there, and right-click and choose Key Selected. I'll do the same for the bottom lid, opening it up a little more to a neutral at frame 1, right-clicking and keying. Now he starts out open, and goes down, but he needs to start out closed sooner, because he's already squished at this point. What I'll do is to hold Shift and drag on the timeline. We can see down here in the lower left of my screen on the timeline that there's 4 arrows. The middle arrows allow us to select and move a bank of keys. The end arrows are for scaling keys out, increasing or decreasing the time of a segment of animation. What I'll do is grab the middle here and pull them over, starting that blink a little bit sooner. I'll test it out. I'll make sure I don't accidentally scale those keys, and click on the timeline, reset to frame 1, and hit play. He starts out, his eye goes down, he springs up, and it opens up at the top. We can see in here I need to adjust that motion as well, and I'll do this in the Graph Editor, choosing Window, Animation Editors, Graph Editor. Here in my Graph Editor with the eye control selected, I can see some of the curves, only they're still set to stepped, and I need to fix this by framing all and then picking my keys. I'll select them and change the tangents over to spline. This gives me a slow in, slow out, and it's useful for some things, but it's going to give his lids a drifting look. What I'm going to do is to start out by picking the middle keys on both animations. I need to free their weights and break their tangents. I'll break the tangents first, and I can tell they're broken because they are light blue and purple, indicating they're independent. Now I'll go and free the weight, and I'm getting an error down at the bottom you may have seen in a previous video. What I need to do is under Curves, choose Weighted Tangents. When tangents are weighted, they show up with larger handles and a little bit longer. Now that they're weighted, I can free their tangent weight. I'll click on that, and the handles are open. What this lets me do is extend this out for a vector, giving me strength as well as direction. I'll pick this top key as an example, select its handle, press W for move, and hold the mouse wheel and click and drag. I'm going to make the blink a little sharper off that key, and I'll let his eyes spring open, again by grabbing this handle and pulling it around. I'll pull this one up, and now he opens into a blink. I'll see if this works, if I'm in the right direction. What we want to do is also learn to read the Graph Editor and see if we're doing the right thing. On the left side we've got units of motion, and on the bottom we've got frames. So what this says is smoothly his lid goes from open to closed. Opens up suddenly and ends in a slow open. I'm not sure that's it, but I'll take a look in the view. His lid goes down, springs up, but slows into that motion. It's backwards from what I want, so I'll go back and adjust it. What we're also seeing here is that animation is a process of trial and iteration, and you need to be prepared to try things and see how they look many times to get it right. Sometimes you get lucky and get something really good really quick, but more often you're going to see a process of refinement. I'll take this handle and pull it down the other way. Then I'll take the middle key and pull that handle down. This is better. He starts off with his eye closed, and it's going to snap open at the top towards that animation. I'll fix the other one, grabbing the handle and pulling it up. I'll grab this end and pull it up as well. Before I do that, I'll break it and free it. Now that eye should spring open at the top, and I'll see how this looks. The eye closes down and springs open as he realizes he's, well, up in the air. I need to adjust this. It also looks by the time he's at the top here, his eye should be open, and my keys are a little off. I'll take these keys, holding Shift and dragging on the timeline, and pulling them over just a little bit sooner. That way that eye is open at the top, the longest part of that stretch. He's closed, up, and the eye springs open to realize he's at the top. I'll preview it one more time and see how it looks. That's better. We can see the iteration is starting to work. He crouches down, jumps up, and the eye opens up at the top to realize how high he is. Once I've got this ready, I can add in other secondary motion and refine it. What I need to do is to look at other things he might do as part of this jump. Right now, he starts out, crouches down, and simply jumps. I may want to add in, as part of this, a little longer hold at the bottom and a wiggle using the roll controls on the body. I've got different controls for this. There's roll X, Y, and Z, and then a rotate. He may rotate side to side or roll just a little bit, finding his footing, and then springing into motion. I may need to come back and adjust the rest of the keys, picking all of these movement keys and sliding them over so I have more time in the crouch in the beginning few seconds.